the new universal library, balancing the act of obtaining balance or stability. To engineers, it is the art of ensuring the equilibriums of systems of forces. Static balancing is applied when a body is acted on by balanced forces and remains unmoved or at rest. Dynamic balancing is applied when a body is acted on by the balanced forces of moving masses and is maintained in a state of uniform motion. A system dynamically balanced is also balanced statically, but the converse is not necessarily true. Examples of balance are when two or more forces act in opposite directions in the same straight line, when equal moments of force and equal couples act in opposite directions about fulcrums or centers of rotation of revolution, and when three or more forces act at a point in different directions to maintain it stationary or in a uniform state of motion. For the balancing of fluids, only the intensity of the pressures or force in every direction need be considered. Pressure increases with vertical depth at the rate of the weight of full fluid per unit volume and is equal at every depth in every direction. Floating bodies displace quantities of liquid fluids equal to their own weights. Immersed bodies can be balanced to sustain them from sinking by a force equal to the difference between their weights and the weights of the volumes of liquids which they displace. Baranophoraceae, small family of tropical dicotyledonous plants, comprising 15 genera with some 40 species, or parasitic on the roots of trees. They lack chlorophyll and are often leafless and succulent. Their flowers are unisexual and the fruit is either a nut or drupe. The Javanese Baranophora elongata produces wax from which candles can be made. Balata, tough honey, non-rubbery material resembling butter, percha obtained from the gum of the burette tree. Mimosops globosa, when heated and molded and then cooled, it retains the shape of the mold. It is an isoprene polymer, but has a molecular weight far less than that of rubber. Barata has found some application in the manufacture of submarine cables. Baraton Lake in Hungary, 50 miles long and 10 miles wide, fed by some 30 rivers and streams and connected to the Danube by the rivers Sio and Sarivis. It abounds in fish, mainly perch, and is a popular tourist center. Barbo, Italo, 1896-1940. Italian airman and air minister who led a mass formation of 12 Savoy Marchetti flying boats across the South Atlantic from Rome to Brazil in 1931. 2 years later, he led an armada of 24 flying boats over the North Atlantic and back. He was shot down and killed by his own anti-aircraft guns while serving as a wartime governor general of Libya. Barboa Vasco Nunes do 1475-1517, Spanish conquistador and explorer who in 1500 accompanied Rodrigo do Bastida to America and visited what are now Venezuela and Colombia. In 1510, he led settlers to the north coast of the Panama Isthmus, where he founded a settlement and led journeys into the interior, of which he heard of an ocean to the west and gold in Peru. In September 1513, he became the first white man to see the Pacific. The town of Balboa is named after him. He planned the conquest of Peru, but was recalled by Pedrarias Davila, ruthlessly cruel governor of Darien, tried for treason and executed. Balboa, town at the Pacific terminal of the Panama Canal, adjoining Panama City. It is the center of the canal zone administration. Barchen Berndt, 1899. American airman. Born in Norway, he became a naturalized United States citizen and probably the world's most experienced Arctic flyer. After taking part in Amundsen's expedition to the North Pole with airship Norge, he was relief pilot on Richard Byrd's transatlantic flight in 1927 and piloted Byrd's Flight 3 motor on the first flight over the South Pole in 1929. Balken hoped to found Norwegian Airlines in 1935 and was joint president in 1946-8 before returning to the USAF, in which he had flown Arctic rescue and operational missions in World War II. Balcony, a small platform projecting from the face of a building, sometimes protected by a roof, carried on columns, brackets, or cantilevers, and usually furnished with a balustrade or railing. The upper portion of auditorium of a modern theater above the dress cycle. Baldacchino, ecclesiastical term for a canopy, fixed or movable. The word, which may also be spelled baldachin or baldaquin, is derived from baldaco, the Italian for Baghdad, and referred originally to the textile material imported from the east, of which such canopies were made. Fixed canopies are found chiefly over the altar, richly decorated and usually supported on 4 columns. In St. Peter's, Rome, there is a magnificent baldacchino executed by Giovanni Bernini for Pope Urban VIII. Wren intended to provide a baldacchino at St. Paul's, but plans carried out his intention were made only after the 19th century. Reredos had been destroyed by German bombing during World War II. Such fixed canopies area called chiboria, Greek kiborion, a cap, or chivories, are first mentioned in the 4th century and went out of favor with the development of Gothic architecture. Portable canopies made of cloth of gold or white silk supported on staves are borne over the host in processions of the Blessed Sacrament in the Roman Catholic Church. The primary purpose of a canopy is honor. A general instinct provides that canopies should surmount the seats of rulers and judges, and thus the altars which are mystically the throne of God. Balder, son of Odin, the chief god in northern mythology, Frigg had ominous dreams concerning him and made everything swear not to hurt him but forget the mistletoe. Loki, the mischief maker, having found this out, had a mistletoe twig turned into a dart when the gods were throwing weapons at Balder to prove his invulnerability. Loki persuaded Hoda, Balder's blind brother, to throw the mistletoe, and so Balder was killed. His body was put on a ship, and when Nanna, his wife, saw it being pushed out to sea, she fell dead of grief and was laid beside him. His spirit passed to the lower world. Odin sent a messenger to Hel, goddess of the lower world, begging Balder back. She replied that if all nature wept for him, he might return. Loki alone refused to mourn him, and thus Balder never returned, though he sent the magic ring of rejuvenation back to his father. Loki was secured by the gods, who hung a serpent over him. His wife Sigyn caught its venom in a basin, but when she turned to empty it, the poison fell on his face. His weird things were regarded as the cause of earthquakes.